Hey, happy hump day. Hope you guys are doing well. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover true crime, mystery, to the missing. And today we've got a wild story to cover. I was actually going to do this for the members and my Patreons, but then I started digging a little bit more, and they just recently kind of released some more news about what has happened since these videos have come out. And anyway, if you know the full story, please don't spoil it in the chat if you do, because it's a wild one. Because even though we know what happens, we'll soon learn what happened. It is just as wild. So I'm super stoked. So like I said, this was something I was going to do just for the members, but then when I started like digging in, I was like, oh my gosh, this has got to do a live show on this, because this is just there's many layers to it, and it's crazy. And I thought it'd be a good time. It's Wednesday, halfway through the week. There's been some terrible things. We got that terrible fire going on in Hawaii, and then the thing going down with the boat, the Harriet 2. I hate to see stuff like that. So I thought today would be kind of a fun, kind of scary thing. And I do feel bad for these Trice people, because what you're going to see, it's no hoax. I'll just leave it at that. And then, of course, when we get to the end, we'll explain what's going on. But this is absolutely wild. So I hope you guys are ready. Quickly, though, as always, we like to get back by featuring the missing. And today we've got some requests. So we have Randall A. Burnside, 40 years old, went missing approximately sometime July of this year out of Port Townsend, Washington. This was sent in, but this was a request sent in. So he's 170 pounds, 5'11", 40 years old, Randall. If you know any information or have any tips, you can call 253-653-2094. Once again, Randall A. Burnside, 40 years old, went missing last month, sometime in July. And I think this was sent in by Michaela, so if she's in the chat and if she has any more information, go ahead and put it in the comments. And, oops, one more. Let's see. There we go. We got one more that was sent in. This was sent in by Will. So this is Tracy Marie Croth. This is an old one. 17-year-old girl went missing out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania. I guess this is I don't know if this guy that sent it in, this Will guy, is from this town, but he says it's a very tight-knit community. And he asked if I could, feature in one of my upcoming lives. And of course, so for those that are new to the channel, if you do have someone, a family member or friend that goes missing or had recently gone missing, you would like me to feature them in an upcoming live show, just please email me. You can get a hold of my mods, and usually my emails are dropped throughout the chat, and you can always find them in the description. But yeah, this is Tracy Marie Croth, went missing back in 1989, Millersburg, Pennsylvania, just 17 years old. Brown hair, green eyes, just kind of looking at the notes here. So she was last seen at Alex Acres Trailer Park in Halifax, Pennsylvania, attempting to visit her sister. She did not return home in Millersburg, Pennsylvania, a distance of 7 miles. Her vehicle was recovered the next day in the Millersburg town square. Parts of her wallet were found in December of 1993 along the Wiconisco, I probably butchered that, Creek, Washington Township, Pennsylvania, 9 miles from Millersburg. So this is Tracy, 17 years old. She looks a little bit older in that. And I was trying to find a kind of an age progression, but I couldn't see anything. And it may be something out there. But anyway, so if you have any information, you can call 1-800-634-4097. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, just a little thing, 17 years old, 4'10", 85 pounds, Becky says. Yeah, poor thing. But you know, there was that case with Alicia Navarro. She went missing for what, 4 years, you know, and she returned. So it happens. So anyway, now moving on to the story. So we'll just look at the headline for a second, and then we'll get right into the clips. If you did see the trailer a little bit, you can kind of get an idea of what we're going to watch. But I do have some translation because they're speaking in Spanish. And if there's anybody here in the chat that speaks Spanish, and as we're watching the video, if you want to kind of translate with me, that'd be awesome. But so here is the headline. And this came out, this is August 8th, but I think they've been dealing with this since July 11th, I believe. July 11th or the 13th. But anyway, second week of July. And it's been happening ever since. So about a month now, this tribe in Peru, which is like San Antonio, Loreto, and this Peruvian village claimed that they are under attack by 7-foot-tall aliens dubbed face peelers. That doesn't sound very good. As they pled with authorities to send backup. And so, yeah, it's a crazy story. So we're going to get right into the video because it is absolutely wild. And like I said, we do have an update to this story. That's why I decided, instead of just doing something for the members, I went live because it's absolutely crazy. So, Henry Dog, thank you so much. Boom, Chris da Boom. Thank you so much, Chris da Bomb. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Henry. You are so awesome. Please show Henry Dog some love. Thank you so much for the $50. That's so awesome. And Gail Hurd, welcome so much. And thank you so much for supporting this channel and becoming a member. And make sure we got everybody. Okay. Well, let's get going. So we're going to head and play the video now. And I'm going to tell you right now, because this came out, I'm not sure when this came out. It's like it's been out for at least like a week or so, but it really didn't catch too much of the main news outlets until more recently. I think just with everything, all the UFO stuff going on, or UAP stuff, you know, with David Grouse. And anyway, so this is absolutely wild. So I can tell you right now, just from knowing kind of the full story now, this is no hoax. This is really going on. This is a village. This village has just a little over 1,300 people in their tribe. And they've been terrorized almost every night by something that they believe is aliens. It looks like a predator. And so I'm going to play this clip. This is just a short clip, where you can supposedly see the creature or whatever. I mean, listen to the villagers. I mean, this is definitely no, you know, hey, let's make a viral video and we go crazy. I mean, these people sound scared. And like I said, this clip here is they supposedly see the creature or whatever, and you can kind of make something out, and we'll look at that closer. But we're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit and do the clip. There's a 7-minute clip where they go hunting for this creature or creatures. So here's just kind of showing where this is at. So obviously this is in South America. This is Peru, and we zoom in. We see, I guess it would be the city of Loreto, and then there's a small little town village called San Antonio, just kind of like San Antonio, Texas. and this is where it's going on. So it's close to this river. I didn't actually get to see the name of the river, but I want to say Marathon, but that's not Marathon. I can't quite see it. But anyway, so that's kind of the area of what's going on. Now, this next video is going to come up here where they're whispering, and I'm going to translate as much as I can. If there's anybody in the chat that speaks Spanish and would like to help translate, I'd be awesome. But I do have some translation of what this guy, because obviously he's speaking Spanish or some form of Spanish. I don't know if it's a little bit different from, I don't know if there's different forms of Spanish, but anyway, that's what he's speaking, and I do have some translations. A lot of it's kind of repetitive, but I'll at least give you an idea of what he's kind of saying. And another thing is this, not only is this going on in Peru, but apparently this is going on in Brazil as well, which is kind of wild. So now I'm going to go ahead and play the clip. I'll try not to break it up. I'll have to pause it a little bit so I'm not stealing content, but I'll be translating as we play.
Cállese. Allá sigue el pelgaita de la gente yendo adelante a buscarles. Está yendo a Chávez. Ya le encontré al pelacaria. Ya le encontré. Ahí está yendo el pelacaria. Ahí te lo encontré. Por ahí están buscando. Por allá están buscando. Por ahí está un poco de gente.
Okay, so I think here is where he starts to say, there he is, there it is, somewhere right around in here.
Cállate. Hay que tener bastante cuidado. Ahí está, ahí está. Ya creo que la encontré al pie de la cara. Ahí está, ya la encontré. Por allá está un montón de gente, ¿ves? Por ahí, por allá. Ahí está, ahí está.
Okay, so apparently from the translation, a lot of them are saying something to the lines of, there it is, and be careful. It's kind of a mix between that. And that is gunfire that you're hearing.
Ya se ha elevado, ya dice, ya se ha elevado, ya se alarga, vuela, escucha, pues no le puede hacer nada. Puta madre, ¿cómo vamos a hacer ahora?
Okay, so he says something like it's leaving and it flew away. And I've got some translators in here, so you guys probably translate. I know he said a bad word right there, something along the lines of, son of a bee, what are we going to do? So let's see if that translates to the same. Follow him, grab him. Yep, that sounds about right. There it is. Be careful, chase it. We've got quite a bit of Spanish speaking. That's awesome. Thank you guys for helping translate that. So there's more.
Bueno, puta madre, ¿qué le hacemos? Vamos a hacer, puta madre. Es que llama a la policía, al ejército, para que nos vengan a apoyar. Vamos a ver cómo está la familia allá. Vecinos, cómo están correteando acá. ¡Vamos, vamos!
Okay, so I'm just going to pause it right there. There's still some more video, but those are just tuning in. So we were tuning into a Peruvian village that is being Supposedly, according to the locals, they're saying they were being attacked by a 7 foot tall alien or aliens. Um, and they kind of described that they're almost kind of like the Predator, where they're kind of, you can't quite see them. They're kind of like, invisible, and they have this weird mask, yet they have these yellow eyes. And I'm going to tell you right now, because I see someone asking, is this real? Or, this is real. What is going on? This is not a hoax. And like I said, I have the full story, and we'll reveal what's actually going on at the end. But yeah, this is actually terrible. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if it's this night or one of the prior nights, there was a girl that was actually cut along her neck. And we'll look at that as well. But yeah, this village is being terrorized by something. That is for sure.
La gente bien preocupada, armada. Que ver. Claro, se está volando, dicen. Aquí vamos a ver cómo.
So it looks like now they're going to regroup after it. I guess it's now ran off and they scared it away. And then they're going to kind of talk about this guy in the white jersey or whatever. He's going to kind of describe what he's been seeing or what he saw this night. And so I'm glad we got some translators in here so he can kind of describe what he's talking about. But yeah, for those that are tuning in, this happened in Peru. I'm sorry I have to kind of edit. I got to commentate over this, so I'm not taking someone's content. This is absolutely wild. And there's another clip where we actually kind of get to see the figure per se. And we'll watch that clip, and I'll actually enhance the video. And then after that, we'll look at some articles, and then we'll break down what supposedly was going on.
Podemos hacer para seguir.
Esa es lo que le vas a volar. Y con la bala no se lo puede agarrar, se vuela.
¿Viste? ¿La has visto?
Señores autoridades de acá de nuestra región, necesitamos apoyo para nuestra comunidad. Los niños, mira, se ven, los niños no duermen, están ahí las madres desvelándose, señores. Son extraterrestres estos señores, son vestidos con blindados, son tipo del hombre verde que persigue el hombre araña, igualitos, son señores. Yo le valió 2 veces y no.
Okay, I'll pause it there and see if there's some people that can translate that, because I'm sure he's coming in fast. I'll put out what I know he's kind of saying in a little bit, and I'm sure there's some people that'll translate a little bit better. Let's see. So I know he's saying something along the lines of, we contacted the authorities, we need help, the kids are not sleeping. I might be ahead on that. They seem to be bulletproof, and when I shot them, they would just fall and then leave. So, can't catch up, it escaped, yep. So I'll play it some more. And then I think he kind of goes into a description of what he saw.
Caen, en vez de que caen, se elevan y se desaparecen, señores. Gobernadores, autoridades de nuestra región, por favor, necesitamos apoyo el día lo más pronto posible para que vengan a reforzar nuestra comunidad, vengan a sacar a esta gente de acá que está haciendo a que nuestros hijos, nuestras señoras, ¿no? Nuestra familia no se duerman, están desvelándose en una casa, cuidando, comiendo, no comiendo, señores, pero estamos atemorizados por lo que está pasando en nuestra comunidad. Queremos su presencia de las autoridades competentes en este momento aquí en nuestra comunidad. Ya, eso es de mi parte, señor. Usted que la ha visto, comunero, ¿cómo ellos visten su uniforme, no? Ellos visten.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there to let our translators kind of catch up to it a little bit, because he is talking really fast. So thank you, Primitive, and Geneva, and I think there was one more that was kind of helping translate. Thank you guys so much for translating. So there are extraterrestrials, bulletproof. Before that, we were close twice but couldn't catch it. And before that, we couldn't grab it. Did you see it? We need support. We need army. Women and children are crying. And like I said, this is actually happening because we're gonna reveal what supposedly is going on, and it's just as bad, and it's just as crazy.
Un uniforme así, todo una máscara completa como el hombre verde, pero el color es plateado. Llevan en sus zapatos, tienen así como una forma redonda, como un platillo, que de ahí se elevan, eso andan a 1 metro, así 1 metro de altura andan, y tienen unas luces rojas en la parte del talón. Su cabeza es largo, la máscara que tiene es largo, y el ojo, el divisor de ojo es color medio amarillento, así es. Ya con eso.
Okay, I'll pause it there and let them kind of catch up on the translation. This is really cool. We've got a bunch of people in here kind of translating what's going on. So I'll pause it and let them kind of translate what he just said there. I know he kind of talks about, I think that's where he talks about like the 7 foot, and that they have these, supposedly they have these things on the bottom of their feet, like hoverboards or something that allows them to like levitate. It's absolutely wild. Where exactly is this again? Yeah, this is in Peru, in a town called City Loreto, in a town called San Antonio. It's a village tribe. Aikatu tribe. I might have butchered that. I'm sorry, but there's this particular tribe has a little over 1,300 people in the tribe. Yeah, dogs say they're scared too. Yeah, that's why it's like I'd seen some people breaking this down yesterday, and they're like, yeah, the dogs are even, people were kind of wondering if this was a hoax or not. So let me see if there is any more translation of what he was describing here, and then we'll play it. Okay, here's a description. It looks like a mask. The body looks almost like Spider-Man. Yeah, so he's describing the Green Goblin, actually. The head is long, yellow eyes, red lights on their feet. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, there's even an article where they actually describe it as close to the guy from, he must relate to the guy from Spider-Man, which is the Green Goblin, because the Green Goblin, for those Spider-Man Marvel fanatics like me, he flies on his thing, and yeah, he's very scary looking, and he's metallic as well. So yeah, absolutely crazy. Thank you guys so much for translating. I'll play a little bit more.
Se ven bien y se largan. Son expertos para largarse, señores. Autoridades, queremos sus apoyos de ustedes y que vengan a poner lo más pronto posible. ¿Alguien más que le ha visto por ahí a esos señores que no sabemos quiénes son? Un comunero más que estábamos ahí. Señoras, madres, ¿ustedes cómo se sienten con esta aterrización que venimos sufriendo?
So I think he starts asking the women how they feel, but I'm sure the translator's gonna give me full, a better understanding of what he's saying. But I think he's talking about asking the women, because obviously you'll see them here. They're holding their their little babies and stuff. I mean, they are scared.
Nosotros en la comunidad, hay una madrecita ahí que está preocupada por eso.
Acá las madres se encuentran bien atemorizadas, no duermen. Son 12 noches que ya no están durmiendo en sus casas, todos están muy preocupados y esperemos pues que las autoridades tomen importancia.
¿Qué culpa tienen nuestros hijos, señores autoridades, viendo? ¿Qué culpa tienen? Porque nuestros niños están perdidos por unos sinvergüenzas.
I mean, look at these women. I mean, they are in distress, and apparently they haven't been sleeping, because this has been going on, like, I guess every night or just about every other night. And this has been going on for almost a month now. And it, like I said, we've got the full story, and it's just as crazy. So.
Son desgraciados que no merecen la pena, en verdad. Ese señor, las autoridades quieren un apoyo bastante para nuestro pueblo, para nuestros maridos que no tienen ni cómo buscar un pescado, una carne para comer nuestros hijos. Ese señor, las autoridades, mis palabras con mis lágrimas.
Como ustedes ven, señoras autoridades, nosotros nos encontramos aquí en la comunidad nativa San Antonio. Ustedes, para que se den cuenta, aquí el pueblo no duerme toda la noche, así como ven,
son
ustedes
de jefe
marcando a
comunal.
sus niños. no nos preocupa a todos nosotros porque, verdad, no podemos descansar tranquilos. La gente no tiene nada que comer en la casa. No podemos ir ni a buscar algo para traer sustento para nuestra familia.
So the ladies, do you feel terrorized? It's been 12 days this is happening. Wow. Crazy. Perimeter says the mothers are very worried. We hope the authorities help. Absolutely wild. So this is about the end of it. There was like another minute, but it kind of dies down. So I think I end it here any second. Now I'm going to go back to the clip. You might, if you're just joining. So there's a second clip where you can kind of see something going on. Obviously it's nighttime. There's flashlights, but supposedly you can kind of make out something that could be what they're seeing. And so we're going to look at that here in just 1 second.
A la chacra, a buscar algo, ¿no? Para comer. Ya estamos cansados de eso. A ver ustedes como autoridades de repente pueden hacer lo more.
Okay. So let me just quickly grab this. Thanks, Chris. You got me intrigued, Meg. Thank you so much, Rottweilers. Thank you so much for the $10. You're so awesome. And the support. For those that may, obviously donations and stuff really help this channel as we use that to go out for the missing and stuff. I just want to mention for those that do donate via Cash App right now, I've got to set up a new Cash App because I guess I don't know, I've had some trouble with Cash App. It's the one I use the least, and I don't know if it's just because I've non-activity or whatever. Anyway, so I've got to change that. So if you do normally send via Cash App, if you could just hold off, or PayPal or something else. But I will have some set up by next week. Okay, so this is, I don't know if this is taken from, I think this is taken from a different night. But anyway, this green hue is supposedly the object. I don't know if this is kind of like a tree or some foliage and it's mixed in there, or if this is the actual object. It does kind of morph a little bit. It's kind of odd. And you can actually see, it is actually crazy. You can actually, if you pause at one spot, you actually kind of see what would look like how you would see an alien, in the media. What is it? Right. It's got the eyes right there. I don't know if this is it. I do know whatever this is actually moves, because this eye, it's obvious this sucks because it's nighttime and they got these flashlights flying around. But this little eye or whatever, I don't know if this is an eye, but it is creepy because when you're just looking at it at face value, it does kind of look like your typical alien. But like I said, they're not really describing the typical alien. That's what makes this unique, is they're describing this thing's like the Green Goblin mixed with the Predator, with hoverboard or hover feet, and they can float and levitate. It's absolutely crazy. But some people say that this is them kind of morphing or something. And that's what they do recall, a lot of people saying that they kind of change somehow. And absolutely wild. I mean, what is going on is going on. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's unmute Chris. We good? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Should. Yeah, everything's looking good. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind this is at night, but let me tell you, like I said, this is going on, and we're gonna break down what's going on. Okay, you guys can hear me. I saw someone say unmute Chris. I'm just making sure we're good. Okay, all right. So let's look at the article, and then we're gonna reveal what is going on, and to me is just as wild. Is just as absolutely as wild. So this is the article. So terrified Peruvian villages claim that they are under attack by 7-foot-tall aliens dubbed the face peelers as they pled for authorities to send backup. Members of the Iquitu tribe from San Antonio native community have reported mysterious figures in dark-colored hoods attacking the villagers, who live in a rural district of the Alto Nane, northeast Lima, Peru. Hope I didn't butcher that. One of the such attacks, and this is what really kind of helped make the headlines, is a 15-year-old girl had been taken to the hospital. And there are kind of some photos of her. Let's see, I just read that part. This part. According to the community leader, the teenager narrowly escaped, but as a result of the struggle, they cut part of her neck, which is very scary. Now, according to local media, members of the community are conducting night patrols to protect the women. So obviously you can see these videos that we're seeing, especially this one, it seems like this has been going on for what they said, 12 nights, which is absolutely terrible. So children and more valuable villagers have called on authorities to send the military. So here's one picture of them. And here's a more recent picture. The military did arrive. Some community members say they can't sleep because they're in fear. Locals describe the extraterrestrials as large head, yellow eyes, and mysterious figures are immune to hunting weapons. They claim they have attacked them for every night since July 11th. We've met them face to face. His face is hardly visible. I've seen his whole body floating at a height of 1 meter, suggesting this being was hovering. The group had requested military presence. However, it takes a 10-hour river trip to reach the community. We need support. The children are not sleeping. We are very frightened. And like I said, what's going on is real. It's not a hoax. This is a picture of the poor 15-year-old girl. She had a laceration or some kind of cut on her neck. She is fine. And then here's just kind of the community that, they've that kind of go around at night with guns and machetes and flashlights, obviously, is what we've been seeing. And and that just shows that how many people are in this little tribe, which is 1,350 people. So absolutely wild stories. So now, you guys ready for what? Let me check the chat real quick, and then we'll get to the update. And to me, it's just as wild, absolutely wild. So let me just quickly catch up on the chat here. I think I saw something. Elizabeth, thank you so much for covering this, Chris. I couldn't get on my computer fast enough. Booted myself out 2 times, laugh out loud. Please, can you email me your logo ready to add some stuff to your approval? Oh, that would be awesome, Elizabeth. Yes, I'll email you after the show. That'd be so awesome. And just shout out to everybody being in here. If you could just please hit the like button. And then, of course, shout out to all my wonderful mods who do amazing work, and my members who support this channel. I couldn't do it with all of you guys here. All right, so now the reveal of what was going on. So this was released, as far as I know, late yesterday today. And it was a little bit hard to dig into, but I did find out what supposedly is going on. It's up to you. Let me just quickly check the poll before I forget. So I got 223 votes. I asked you guys in the chat, you guys believe in aliens and or the supernatural? And right now, leading the top, we got 70% of you in here right now believe that you guys believe that we are not alone. And I would agree. I'm still skeptical, but I do believe, just with the vastness of the universe, there's just no way we could be not alone. And then it's kind of tied for second and third. It seems 17% not sure on the fence, and then 13 don't believe in aliens or the supernatural, which we totally respect. Chris, was this debunked? I haven't kept up. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to talk about what happened. And it is crazy. Okay. So this is the article that came out yesterday and today. Illegal mining activities in, I'm going to butcher this, Iquitos, which is right next to San Antonio, it's all right there, has taken an unprecedented turn. According to the prosecutor's office, criminal organizations would be responsible for several attacks on the residents of the San Antonio community of the Iquitos tribe, and would have been using disguises to imitate strange beings or aliens with the purpose of generating terror. And why are they doing this? The accusations have been confirmed by various complaints from the community of the Alto Nene district in the Iquitos. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. The residents repeatedly reported appearances of strange beings, with the specialized prosecutor for the environmental matters now attributes the activity to illegal miners. So this is absolutely crazy. According to the prosecutor in charge of the case, these criminal organizations, kind of like the mafia, would be made up of illegal miners and from Brazil and Colombia. And like I said, there's the same things going on in Brazil. And it's because they have gold in certain areas, I guess, in this place. And these miners want this access to this gold. So they are actually trying to terrorize these villages and scare them to either leaving or whatever, so they can conduct their illegal mining activities. But it gets even crazier. These groups would operate at various points at the Alto Nene district using modern technology and intimidation tactics to drive the Iquitos tribe from their territories. And then below it says investigations intensify. In the response to the complaints, the public ministry has intensified the investigations and has mobilized law enforcement to prevent these foreign mafias from continuing to infiltrate communities to illegally extract gold. So this is absolutely crazy, if true. Now, you could say is just the story, is just kind of like Roswell. This is, like the weather balloon, this is just them kind of covering the story. But anyway, I'm just here to kind of give you what's being reported here. But here is the article titled, Loreto Prosecutor's Office Confirmed that Illegal Miners Disguise Themselves as Aliens to Intimidate the Tribe. So, absolutely wild. And still, it's absolutely terrible, of course. But apparently that's what's going on. They're using some kind of high-tech stuff. And they are using, I don't know, holographic stuff, drones. I'm going to assume they're using some kind of maybe drones and some other technology, whatever. And apparently this is what is going on. And like I said, it does kind of make sense in a way, because this, like I said, when this was going on in Peru, there's similar stories in Brazil. And it's the same thing. It's areas that I guess have a prospect of gold, and it's these miners that are using this technology to frighten these villagers. And what a more better time to do it when the whole world is being exposed to, this stuff here.
News Nation has been at the forefront of the push for transparency as Congress digs into allegations the U.S. actually possesses non-human spacecraft. We're now hearing claims that someone has leaked the medical records of the prime UFO whistleblower in this out-of-this-world story.
The Intercept is reportedly preparing to publish private medical records of Air Force intelligence officer David Grush. He was the star witness in the congressional UFO hearings and a central figure in News Nation's coverage and breaking that story. Kelsey's here with more. Hey, Kelsey.
Mark and Adrian, good morning. Lots of questions here. Those claims by David Grush, they came during an exclusive interview with News Nation. It made international headlines.
So, I mean, it could, you know, maybe the timing is coincidental. And like I said, then you can still say, you know, maybe is this just really, you know, with the story with the miners, is this just kind of the cover-up story to kind of keep hush-hush? So you could look at it either way and still say this still could be aliens, because obviously we have that incident in Las Vegas, you know, with them seeing 10-foot tall aliens. So it's pretty wild, absolutely pretty wild. But like I said, I do believe there's other stuff out there that we couldn't explain. But this would make sense. But I would still like to know if, you know, if that's true. Like, what in the hell are they using? I mean, they have clearly terrified this poor village. I mean, watching these videos, I mean, these people are scared. Obviously, learning from the translations of what they're talking about, they're clearly terrified. And, you know, I know when this came out without the resolution of the full story, people thought, oh, well, maybe they're just doing a little hoax, you know, trying to get some viral attention. But that's not the case. These people are clearly scared out of their mind. Yeah, still crazy. It's still, you know, if it is these illegal miners and the technology, what are they using to, you know, scare these poor people like that? So, oops, good to see a true crime. It's great in my opinion. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Illegal miners. Yeah, for sure. If that is the, you know, what's going on. But, you know, I know a lot of people before this came out were thinking maybe the, not the mafia, the cartel, but people are saying, like, if it was the cartel, they wouldn't be messing around like this. They would go and make statements, you know. But this would make a little bit more sense. They are trying to, like, freak them out with this whole maybe alien thing, especially with now everybody's talking about it worldwide with this guy coming out. So it all kind of lines up in a way. But still, at the end of the day, it's terrible. And, you know, it sounds like 15-year-old girl was hurt. There's a couple other videos. If you do, after the show, if you do look up Twitter, be very careful. There's a video that's supposed to be kind of attached to the story, but I don't know if this is the actual death of this person is related, but it does fit the narrative because, you know, what they thought they were being tracked by was what's called face pillars. And anyway, there's a Twitter video, and it's not hard to find. And sadly, there's two of them. One that's unedited, and when you first see it, you think it's fake, but it's actually real, and it's quite disturbing. I'm not going to go into much more detail on that, but so just warning you, if you look this stuff up, be careful of that video. They're kind of pulling this guy out of the water, and he's basically missing his face, and it's quite disturbing. Your haircut looks nice, Chris. Thank you so much, Miranda. You were so sweet. You guys are so amazing. So like I said, I thought that was, I think that was a pretty wild story. And like I said, this was going to be for the members, but, I'll just recap it. Now you can kind of look at it under a different light. So we'll just play just a fast forward version for those that might have missed the first part. And then I've got a little bit more few things I wanted to touch on, a different story, before we go. We got a few more things. But yeah, listen to these people. These people are scared to death. So there they am shooting at it, and so I'm just wondering, do they have that hologram technology or what? Is this some crazy drone mixed with some other things? There's so many things, and I want to dive a little bit deeper to see what kind of things have been done. but yeah, I mean, they said they shot this thing and it fell down, but then flew away. So it makes me wonder if it's some kind of version of a drone and some other technology mixed in with it. But absolutely crazy, just crazy. So let's see what's going on in the chat here, and then chills, Jolene, chills. You can hear the fear intensity. Yeah, that's why I was like, when I first saw the video come out yesterday, the day before, and the guy was covering it. I think Nerd Report, Lewis from Nerd Report, he said that, you know, because he speaks Spanish, and he could understand a lot of what they were saying. He said, yeah, these people they're not faking it, that's for sure. Camilla, I watched the congressional hearing. He has proof. We are very cocky to think we are the only ones in the universe, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a big world, and then when you start thinking about string theory and quantums and other dimensions and parallel universes, and this is coming from our scientists, I definitely think that there's something that could bleed. You know, I believe dimensions would make the most explanation as far as some of this stuff, that you know, some dimensions kind of bleed into ours and vice versa, maybe. I could definitely see that. So now we're gonna switch gears here. Trying to get to a comment I saw. Oh, where'd it go? Sorry, just looking at the comments. There's one I was gonna highlight, and oh, where'd you go? Well, I saw Steve from True Crime Web in here, and I gonna highlight his comment. Now I can't find it. Sorry, Steve. Elizabeth, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Thank you so much. Daytime Chris, just wild. Thank you, sir, for your work. Thank you for breaking things down. This is an onion. This is an onion story 20 years ago. But anyhow, sorry, I can't read the last part. Everything you guys cover is worked. Thank you so much. Okay, so I said that's why I wanted to cover this today, is just kind of something different. And then there was something else that went down today, or at least was released. Wait, before I do that, I just wanted to play this one more thing. Just while we're still on the topic. Has anybody ever experienced this? What we call the glitch in the Matrix?
It's me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane.
Have you guys ever experienced this? I have.
Is it moving?
The stuff is absolutely wild. I've seen it twice.
It's not moving.
I've seen it twice with a plane like this, a smaller plane. And then
it sounds like it's moving.
And then I've also seen it with one of the more the passenger jets. And yeah, it is just a kind of a visual illusion. And then of course it involves the wind as well and all these different variables. But yes, I've experienced it twice. And it does happen. So keep your eyes out in the sky, especially if it's windy. And I guess it has to be certain angles you got to be viewing it from. I'm sure there's probably videos breaking down on how this crazy illusion works, but it happens, and it's crazy, so crazy. But there is an explanation of what's going on, and if it's windy, and then it depends on where your view is. It's nuts, so crazy. So just one more thing I wanted to touch on, and this is kind of really sad, and I hate to end on this, but you guys ever hear of Lil Tay? Let me play this video.
Yeah, I want to get into music. I want to get into acting, and I want to do everything. And People think that I'm just like talentless. Everyone just thinks that I'm flexing and that's all I can do, but that's just one side of me, and I can do like so much more than that. I have way more talents than that.
And I believe you can show them, so I'm excited for it, aren't you, Mom?
Yeah, we already know she can do many things, many talents.
Candace has a huge following on.
So does anyone remember her? This is Lil Tay, and yeah, just crazy. She, she's trying to be an influencer, and she came off really. People did not like her, but unfortunately, it wasn't her. It was actually her family that put it up to her. I guess her father and her mother. But she looked like a prick, and definitely not my cup of tea. But then when you learn, that it's not her. She's being pressured into this, and there's a lot of like cuts that have been released that are either before or during when she's making one of these videos where I can't really play any of her videos because it's got a lot of, typically it has cussing in it, so I can't really play any of them. But she's got stacks of cash, and she's either standing by a hot car or in a nice apartment or whatever. And anyway, it was just to get clout and get followers, and she's just 9 years old. And then when you kind of learn that, she was just, put up to it by her father, and, her brother was kind of helping her do it. But then this is the craziest thing. If you guys haven't heard this. So it is with a heavy heart that we share the devastating news on our beloved Claire. So that's her real name, is Claire. Let me move this over a little bit. Let me start that over. It is with heavy heart that we share the devastating news of our beloved Claire's sudden and tragic passing. We have no words to express the unbearable loss and indescribable pain. This outcome was clearly unexpected and had left us all in shock. Now, not only did she pass away, her brother's passing adds an even more unimaginable depth to our grief. During this time of immense sorrow, we kindly ask for privacy as we grieve this overwhelming loss. As the circumstances surrounding Claire and her brother's passing are still under investigation, Claire will further remain in our hearts, her absence leaving an irreplaceable void that will be felt by all who knew and loved her. So this is absolutely crazy. People are wondering, like, what is going on? You all of a sudden post that not only she died, but her brother died, and it's under suspicious that, strange circumstances, and people are kind of a little worried, wondering, is there something more to this, or, was this an accident? Obviously we don't know the full story, but this was just kind of been breaking the headlines today. And one kind of disturbing thing that I took a screenshot. I'm not sure if this is 100% real. I've been told this is, but just take it with a grain of salt. But on her, what is this, her Instagram? Or it is Instagram. It's got the bell. Or is this, no, this would be YouTube, right? Yeah, it's got the bell. Let me know in the chat. I mean, this looks like YouTube. Home, videos, playlist, community. Anyway, look what it says under her thing. It says, help me. So anyway, absolutely crazy. So very, very sad. And there's not much information about this story right now, but a lot of people are starting to talk about it. And just a terrible story for her, being 9 years old, being thrust into the social media. It's so tough to be in the social media spotlight and to be a public person. It comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of stress. People, unless you've done it, may not fully understand that, it comes with great things, and it comes with just stuff that, you get attacked on all fronts on a lot of different things. But anyway, so I just wanted to kind of add off on that, and just hope that, hopefully whatever happens, they figure it out. But we'll keep an eye on it for sure, because right now there's not a lot. But people are a little suspicious about it. That's all I'll leave there. I don't want to speculate or anything. But yeah, very sad and strange. And then you got the fires in Hawaii, which is so terrible. I got, a couple viewers out there. So hopefully that gets better. Karen Boardman, sorry. Always enjoy your presentation, Chris. Thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. Christina, my entire experience in Texas with Marty and you felt like a glitch in the Matrix. Glad to see you're still being awesome, sir. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you for everything you've done. Been a member for 2 sports. Sister to Carolyn, our scientist team, and hopefully we'll get out on the road when it cools down. And I know me and Steve are working on our next projects with me and Steve. We're going to be going out looking into the Dior case. That's in Idaho. For those that follow the missing 411, I'll just kind of pull it up real quick. Dior Coons. But we're thinking about sometime after, just around Labor Day or just after Labor Day weekend. But for those that may not remember, I was kind of blocking it, but there's a little baby Dior. He went camping with his family, and these were all the people that were there. And yes, very suspicious that, it's just them there. And he was walking behind his parents to the creek. And about halfway there, I guess he wanted to go back. And he wanted to go see his grandpa. Or I think his grandpa had candy or something. And anyway, they weren't gone too far and for very long. But when they came back after 20 minutes or something, which wasn't far from the campground, they were just down at the creek. And when they come back, they went to Grandpa's camper and went to Grandpa and said, "Hey, where's Dior at?" And he's like, "I haven't seen him since he left with you guys." And then there's this guy here, Grandpa's friend. I forget his name off the top of my head, but some thought he was suspicious. Everybody's been kind of thrown under the spotlight at one point or another. And so anyway, we're gonna try to go out there in September and see if maybe we can help maybe get some answers. And so excited for that. And let me see what chat says here. Get caught up here. Good to see you, CYs. Thank you, lovely people. Yeah, really excited. We're going to hopefully get a boat, and we're going to hopefully maybe have some sonar equipment. I don't want to speak too far in advance, but that's going to be the idea. Our first. Well, I better not say too much because I guess I got to talk to Steve about what we discuss. But yeah, we have kind of a game plan set up, and obviously it's going to more evolve down through as it gets closer to when we go out. But we're excited to get out on the road, and then I may get out there before that looking for Dylan and or Aiden. So excited for that. The parents were not far from the campsite. Allegedly, they'd been about 50 yards. Yeah, they weren't very far away. For those that David Pilates, I'm sure most of you know of him, Missing 411. His first video he put out, it covers, most of that movie is covering, or the documentary covers this story mixed in with other stories. But this is kind of the main story that kind of they cover throughout that first video, and it's very interesting. So anyway, let me see what time it is. So we went with 1 hour, so we did pretty good. I thought we'd go a little longer, but let me close the poll here. So it's pretty much the same. So we got over 300 votes, so still 70% in the chat. I think there is definitely something, aliens or supernatural, and we're not alone. And then it's 12 and 13% on the Not sure, and I don't know. So I'm going to end that. And Black Widow said, I'll send Chris to Peru, but not Steve, you bold pup. And man, oh my gosh, if I saw what they were seeing, I just, man, I'm going to look up and see if I can get any kind of ideas of what these guys are using, if that is the case. You know, if it is come down to these illegal miners using some crazy technology. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if they've, in the gold industry, I guess they've got the resources and money to get the latest gadgets, and what in the world were they using? But clearly it terrorized these poor people. Or you could say that's just a cover and that this is, you know, aliens. You know, I'll let you guys decide, but still, either way, it's pretty wild. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of their day. I've been trying to do earlier streams. Let me know if this works for you in the chat, and or if in the comment section as well. If because I was thinking about starting at least a half hour, maybe an hour earlier than I usually, because usually I start at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to try to start an hour earlier, at least half an hour. Seems like that fits a little bit people's schedule a little bit better, because I know a lot of people are from other countries, and obviously it's late at night right now for them, and so I think it's a little easier. So let me know in the chat if this schedule works a little bit better, the earlier start time, and then we'll go from there. Elizabeth, I'll get a hold of you. And with that, if you guys can, please hit that like button before you go, and we're going to go ahead and play the outro. And like I said, hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday and the rest of the week, and we'll be back here on Friday. And then for my members and Patreons, which if you'd like to support this channel, those are two great ways to do it. I will put something out probably tomorrow, because like I said, this story was going to be for you guys, the member / Patreon, but the story ended up being so wild I had to cover it today. So all right, guys, thank you so much. I love you guys, and we will see you guys Friday.